The Utah Hockey Club finally announces its first captain, Clayton Keller, named captain of the UHC, plus a home opener celebration headlined by Shabuzi. We're going to talk about that on today's episode of Locked On Utah Hockey Club.
You are Locked On Utah Hockey Club, your daily podcast on the Utah Hockey Club, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Locked On Utah Hockey Club, your number one daily podcast on the UHC. I'm your host, Robyn and Tom, alongside Tom Callahan. We want to thank everyone for making this show your first listen every single day. We are free and available everywhere you get your shows. We got a very special bonus episode, really a weekend episode, pretty rare weekend episode. But hey, we had some Friday and late Thursday news come in, so we're like, okay, we have to get this discussed, Tom, before we get into the weekend.
Absolutely. Well, the first and probably biggest bullet, Clayton Keller is the first ever franchise captain, so not an unexpected move by any means. Although, Robyn, you and I did ponder for a little while whether or not they were going to name a captain right out of the gate. That was a mystery that had yet remained unsolved until this announcement came down. But it's hard to argue with the choice of Clayton Keller. I think, there's probably two or three real candidates for the C on their sweater if you're going to ham it out this year, and he was probably my leading guy.
Yeah, Keller was definitely on the hot, my top three of players who I would have picked. It's really interesting though, because you were talking about how we were discussing it over the offseason. And it kind of all stems down to the idea that Andre Tourigny was like, "What's the rush? There is no rush. I want it to be unanimous. We don't need to figure it out. It's not necessary. We're a leadership group. That's fine." That was, for the last few years of the Arizona Coyotes, maybe that kind of played a factor. Now that they're in a new place, they have no other cloud hanging over their head. So it's like, you know what? Maybe now is the time to focus on that and focus on getting who a captain should be. And I feel like it's almost a no-win surprise. There are a decent amount of people who would have picked one of the other two who are on my top three and probably is on everybody's top three. Let's be real. But I feel like the name that keeps coming up over and over again would definitely be Clayton Keller.
Yeah, one thing I will say is that leaders are leaders regardless of whether or not they have a letter on their jersey or not. Ian Cole is going to develop into a leader in that locker room just by being a veteran presence. Are they going to put an A on him? Well, maybe. If they do, great. If they don't, okay, he's still going to be the guy who's going to step up and talk about things. Lawson Krause is going to be another guy who's going to be a leader in the room. The leaders are the leaders, and they do it by their behavior, by their example. And those are the guys that the team will follow. So I think that it's not always, going to be your best player on the team who's your captain. But in this case, maybe they kind of coincide a little bit here. And I just couldn't see Utah Hockey Club going in any other direction really at this point. I think he's going to be one of the more popular players. I think the fans are going to love him. I think it's a great choice there as well, because the captain is also that leader off the ice, right? And they're building a brand in Utah. So I think he's a good face of the franchise to have with that C on as well. So I don't mind that at all.
A leader off the ice and a leader in that locker room. That's one of the most important pieces. Is someone who, if the worst of it hits in the middle of the season, they're going through some stuff. Clayton Keller has seen it all. He was part of this team through a lot of the lows they had in Arizona and even some of the highs. He's seen it all, and I think he understands the process that Andre Tourigny and Bill Armstrong are buying into. He's bought into it. So I feel like, again, it was not a hard decision to make because of him buying into the idea of what's going on with the team, as well as being able to relay that message to the locker room if there ever comes time when you need it. That's what the captain is there for, right? Yeah, sure. You mean on the ice we see the C, and they have some ceremonial activities that they do on, when it comes to those on ice activities. But at the end of the day, a lot of it is behind the scenes stuff we don't see.
Yeah, they really are the leader, as you mentioned, on and off the ice and in the room, and they are the guys. Again, the pressure that's a little bit more to be the leader is to live the example that you want your teammates to follow, to show them every step of the way, whether it's nutrition, whether it's working out, whether it's the time at the rink, how you prepare yourself, how you carry yourself as a professional hockey player. That's why you rarely see, although it happens sometimes, but you rarely see younger players end up with a letter on their jersey right away. The thought being, let them get comfortable, let them develop a little more, not only as people, but as players. And then, you can consider them later on. Now, there have been some very young choices, and some of them have worked out great. Trevor Linden for the Canucks was, I think, the youngest captain in NHL history when he was named. I think he was 20. Sidney Crosby was another one, and he may have broken Linden's record. So you will get some young players named as captain, but it's rare. So I like this move here. And as you mentioned, coming out of Arizona, I think the last couple of years, really it was the building up to this for not only Clayton Keller, but the rest of this group that has stayed together through that move. And now this is going to forge a special bond with these guys, and he's going to be at the forefront.
And I'm sure, and I'm sure it will be no surprise to us. We're still going to see Lawson Krause wearing an A. We're still going to see a guy like Nick Schmaltz wearing an A, because you know what? They're a part of that leadership group no matter what. They might be wearing a different letter on the jersey, but at the end of the day, they are also part of that leadership group. And I want to be able to put that out there to them and say, hey, not to discredit what they do, because those are probably the other two that people were talking about those as top three contenders. But that's, they ended up picking I still think they're the right guy. I did have a moment, and you know this, Tom, in this summer, I was like, I think Krause might be the better option. But again, this goes back to what you were talking about. A lot of it goes off the ice, stuff that we don't see.
Right. And the only other thing I could say too, Robyn, that I would add is that if it came down to this consideration, and this does matter a little bit, but it's certainly not a deciding factor. Keller is locked up through 27-28. Only a couple other players are locked up that far out. Dylan Guenther now is obviously locked up all the way up to 2033, which is crazy to think about. Sergachev and Dursey are locked up that long. So
that's wild to think that they're going that long.
Be here before you know it, though. We'll just blink and it'll be 2033.
Around the time when we're going to get ready to coming up close to the Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, the 2034 Winter Olympics. That's right.
There you go. Anyways, any final thoughts on Keller before we move things on?
Nope. I like the choice. So it's a good one for the Utah Hockey Club, and fans are going to love it.
Awesome. Well, we're going to keep going on this episode. We are going to talk a little bit about an opening night ceremony the Utah Hockey Club has going for them. We got some headliners going, and they got some other celebrations. We'll get to that right after this. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Hey, NFL fans, you could start the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more, all on the same page. Where you place your bets. You get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. You don't even have to win on that bet. All you got to do is place the $5 bet, and you get that $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Once again, that's on FanDuel.com, America's #1 sportsbook. We'll keep things going. Robyn Leonio, Tom Callahan, Locked On Utah Hockey Club. We're going to get to something that we didn't get a chance to talk about because I had a little bit of a day off. Thanks to Tom for holding down the fort for me while I was out for a day.
It was scary, Robyn. I was scared. I was scared.
But while I was out, the Utah Hockey Club and the National Hockey League announced that there will be an opening night ceremony because Tuesday, October 8th, is the first official opening night for most of the league, including a lot of like a big triple header, double header, whatever it is, on ESPN and TNT, all the above. And it's what way to celebrate by having a celebration with the newest team. Utah Hockey Club going to be having a little, a little celebration right outside the Delta Center. That's going to be headlined with a little concert from Shabuzi.
Yeah, how about that? That's kind of interesting to me. It's a long day. By the way, it is free and open to the public. You do not have to have a ticket to the game to go. So I know obviously a lot of folks are shut out of attending opening night. If you can't make it, you want to go to the party anyway, you can. Okay, so it starts at 12:30 with a press conference. Remarks from SEG owners Ryan and Ashley Smith. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman's going to be there. Please stop going Gary Bettman, although he's so used to it by now. But the guy hasn't done anything new. At 2:00, ESPN's going live. It's kind of like college game day, except it's going to be an NHL game day, so that's going to be pretty cool. And then at 4:00, just talking about the music, the activities, all kinds of things going on. So they'll have live music starting from DJ June and DJ Logic with the activities at 5:00. The players arrive for a special inaugural game day walk. So that'll be cool on a mountain blue carpet.
Love that.
Then is the Shabuzi concert. So that'll be pretty cool to see there as well. And then there's a flyover at 6:30. And there is going to be a watch party in the plaza. So that's your reason. That's your nugget, right? That's your come on. If you don't have a ticket to the game, you want to come down and enjoy the party, you can hang out in the plaza. Hopefully the weather's nice. I'm going to knock on some wood that everything stays nice and sunny and fairly warm, and it'll be a good day.
The real question is, will everyone in the plaza be getting tipsy?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I am unfamiliar with Mr. Shabuzi's work, so I would probably not. I'm not probably singing along to that one, but that's all right. That's all right. You know what? It would just be high on life, Rob. We're high on hockey life.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's gonna be some fun though. I'm kind of seeing how that all goes. It's just, again, it's all a celebration. You get a chance to see, and again, with ESPN gonna be highlighting about this, how much the excitement that we've all been feeling already, Tom, as doing this show for the last several months over the entire summer. And getting all the excitement and the response for all of these fans in Utah, all over the state of Utah, not just in Salt Lake City, but all over the state of Utah, getting ready for them to have officially a team they can call their own in the National Hockey League.
And that is, that's going to be your moment. Honestly, that is yes, it's real now, preseason and all that, but once there's just a different energy around the regular season. It's hard to explain until you feel it, but there is a different energy. There's a pulse that, especially at the beginning of a season, because everybody starts at zeros, everybody's in the playoffs on day one. So it's exciting. And it's hard to describe. So if you are curious to check it out, I would say get down there fairly early, because I'm sure it's going to be absolutely packed. And enjoy yourself. You're going to be around a bunch of people who are as fired up that there's hockey in Salt Lake as you are. I think it's going to be a great time. I think it'll be absolutely amazing. Now,
you mentioned there's going to be a little blue carpet walk.
Yes.
Call it a blue carpet walk. What player do you think will get the most attention? Because there's been a lot going on. A lot's happened in terms of players that can get attention.
Yeah.
You've got Spicy Tuna, who from day one captured the love of the team, or you can go Spicy Dill, Dylan Gunther, and getting his long-term contract, or a new captain, Clayton Keller.
Or who's your other selection? You got more?
I was going to say, or other.
Or other. And goalies are always weird. You never know what they're going to do. I say that as a goaltender, obviously. You know what, though? Here's the thing. This is just me. I feel like Spicy Tuna is going to work something up. You know what I mean? I feel like there's going to be something that no one knows is coming, but all of a sudden on that blue carpet walk, boom, we're going to get hit with something. And I have a feeling there's something in the works. I don't know this. I have no inside knowledge. This is just me speculating, but I feel like something's coming. That will be memorable.
Yeah, I feel like he's the one that would do it, especially because you've already seen he's already set the precedent in that little welcome party.
He did set the bar for himself, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people expect him to hype up the team whenever need.
Yes, absolutely. So, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an awful lot of fun, and yeah, it should be a pretty cool party to be a part of, and it's historic. So, a lot of folks will be, taking pictures, recording videos. I'm sure it's going to flood the internet, and I hope that everybody just enjoys themselves and has a good time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like what Tom said, that if you don't have tickets to the game, you can still get there. So, and I probably would recommend it because you'll be have some fun time, be around thousands of other fans excited for their team, and then afterwards, why not hang out with those same fans who aren't able to get a ticket at a bar right outside or really anywhere around the downtown Salt Lake area.
I have a feeling it's going to be not a block but blocks party. This is not just on one block. This is going to spill over huge. So I think it's going to be a lot. It'll have a festival kind of feel. It'll be a good time.
A little mini festival. Gotta love it. Those are always fun. So I can't wait to see how it is. We're only a few days away.
I know.
A few days away. It really shocks me. It's the day all you guys are listening. It's Saturday, October 5th, when most of you guys are listening to this episode. And that just means we're 3 days away from opening night. It's insane.
I know. We're here. Surprise, we made it.
Any final thoughts before we close things off on this bonus episode today?
Nope. Just hope everybody enjoys their weekend, but start making your plans now. If you are going down there, start figuring out where you're going to park. Start figuring out where you're going to walk to and all of that, because I guarantee you it is going to be packed. Absolutely packed.
100%. So be prepared. 100%. But that's going to be it for this episode of the Locked On Utah Hockey Club podcast. If you like what you heard, don't forget to leave a review, like, comment, and subscribe if you've yet to already. We are available everywhere you get your shows, including on YouTube. If you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you can listen to us ad-free on Amazon Music. Also, coming on Monday, we got another Mailbag Monday, our official pre-opening night Mailbag Monday. If you want to get in on the mailbag, you have to be a member of our text club. So go ahead and join now. What better do it than to join right now? Text us to 801-760-9033 to get started, and you'll sign up. Once you get the confirmation that you are in, send us a question with the hashtag Mailbag Monday, so I know that applies to our Monday episode, and we'll answer them on the next episode, because that's what we do on this show. For social media, though, don't forget to follow us at LO_NHL Utah. That is on X, Threads, Instagram. We're also at LO_Utah Hockey on TikTok. I am personally at Robyn_Leonio. Tom Callahan at Callahan on Air. Thanks again, everyone, for listening to today's episode, and we'll see you guys next time.